Hey folks, welcome to Shooting Up North. I'm your host, Lewis Carlin. We're heard right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're watching for the first time, please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm on Twitter at Shooting Up North, Instagram at Alliance PW Network, and feel free to join our Facebook group, the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. This is a Shooting Up North podcast news update. So let's get into it. Impact Wrestling actually considered creating a new Team Canada with Josh Alexander, Ethan Page, Taya Valkyrie, and Eric Young. So Josh Alexander was actually speaking with. He appeared as a guest on Primetime Conversations, and I'm getting this. This article was put out by Post Wrestling. So Josh Alexander was a guest on Primetime Conversations, and he was asked about the idea of a new Team Canada coming together in Impact Wrestling. So Josh Alexander actually shared that he had pitched it, and the idea was floated out there to the talents. I'm talking about Ethan Page, Ty Valkyrie, and Eric Young. Was floated out to the talents, and Impact Wrestling actually considered it. So this is what Josh Alexander actually had to say while he was on Primetime Conversations. From Josh Alexander, he said, "It crossed my mind. I pitched it a few times, talking about the new version of Team Canada. And if it were being honest, there was a moment that was pitched to us where they were thinking about putting together a new edition of Team Canada. I think it was me, Ethan Page, Eric Young, and Taya Valkyrie, and maybe somebody else was going to be involved. But it's one of those things that was like, we might do this, and then you show up the next taping, and it's like we're not going to do any of that. So it's was just an idea and the kind and that was kind of thrown out there, and you get excited for it because the Heart Foundation, Team Canada, all that stuff. That's my kind of thing. That's why I have Maple Leafs on my gear. Always going to be a champion. I'm always going to champion where I'm from, but maybe it'll happen in the future. You never say never in wrestling. So he said, maybe it'll happen in the future. Then he was asked, he said, looking at the current landscape and who will be available, Josh Alexander was actually asked who would be, um, if you could form a Team Canada today, who would the Team Canada consist of? So Josh Alexander mentioned that if he was able to form a Team Canada today, and again he said it might happen in the future, never say never. So he would want himself, Taya Valkyrie, Speedball Mike Bailey. And there's a great, great tag team called Le Tabernacle de Team, Matthew St. Jacques and Thomas Dubois in Montreal, TDT. They are absolutely a fantastic tag team. They were actually in Impact Wrestling. I think they had one or two matches. I think they had a squash match. They got squashed. It wasn't for them. I believe. I know they went at least once or twice, but they are absolutely killing it up here in Canada. So Josh Alexander would love to bring them in. And here's another quote from Josh Alexander. It says, when discussing you need people that are gonna check boxes for every kind of division. So if I'm gonna be the heavyweight champion kind of guy, I would be that, and then bring in Mike Bailey. Would be my first round pick for that X division. I would bring in Taya Valkyrie to be in the Knockouts division, and I need to find a Canadian tag team. So there's a tag team in Montreal called TDT that I mentioned, Tabernacle de Team, and I don't know if anybody knows who they are, but I think they'd be a valuable part to the locker room as a Canadian tag team. So I wouldn't mind bringing them in and giving them a shot. Impact Wrestling, bring them in. Bring in La Tabernacle, their team. They are an incredible tag team. I would love to see them in Impact Wrestling. They're absolutely killing it up here in Canada. I the match after match after match, they're killing it. But anyway, so that would be Josh Alexander's Team Canada. And again, he said maybe it'll happen in the future. You never say never in wrestling. So if they were to put together another Team Canada, and I'm hoping I'd be for it. I kind of like this team. So Josh Alexander, Speedball Mike Bailey, Ty Valkyrie, and Le Tabernacle, the team, Matthew St. Jacques and Thomas Dubois would be an absolutely fantastic, fantastic team Canada. So I'll keep my fingers crossed. And you have Mike Bailey, you have Ty Valkyrie back in Impact Wrestling, and if they could bring in Le Tabernacle, the team, and just let them loose, they would have another fantastic tag team. I'm thinking the Briscoes. against the Tabernacle team would be just a killer match, a killer match. So even if you know what, I'm going to save the Tabernacle team. I'm going to talk about them on another podcast because I feel they deserve an opportunity in Impact Wrestling. So I'm going to leave that for another podcast. But that's Josh Alexander's Team Canada. And, Josh Alexander has a lot of pull right now in Impact Wrestling. He just signed a new deal. He's about to become the Impact Wrestling World Champion. So maybe we'll see another Team Canada consisting of Josh Alexander, Mike Bailey, Ty Valkyrie, and the Tabernacle team in Impact Wrestling very, very soon. Again, I'd be all for it, and I'm sure all the other Impact Wrestling fans watching me here or watching Impact Wrestling in general would definitely be for it as well. Okay, so we're gonna leave it at that for now. Anything breaks, I'll be back. But until then, thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye. Stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye bye.